I used to do this a lot, and that would be text or talk to you guys when I'm driving, because I hate to drive alone. And it's about the only time I can seem to get by myself, so that's what I'm doing. So, hello. Since there's so many of you guys I haven't met yet, I'm going to be doing probably a lot more of this, especially this year, because it's bad, and the UFOs right now are coming in drones. I mean, there's like 9 at least, more every night. Not 9 every night, but there's like last night it was more than Florida. So they're not here to hurt you. You know, they're here to protect us. Okay, now the shadow government doesn't want us to know that. They want us to be afraid of them, which don't be. They've been waiting a long time for this, you know. But the planet is ascending, not the people necessarily. You know, it's just that Mother Gaia is a living, breathing, conscious entity, and she signed up for this, you know, when she, you know, at her conception, we'll say. Shit, who's calling me now? Ah, crap. Dropped away. So, what was so urgent was, I don't know, last time I talked to you guys, we were hearing a lot about the 3 days of darkness and that stuff, and then it just kind of like stopped, and this was like in October, and I couldn't find anything on it. And what the angels are saying is as soon as the United States breaks up, and it will, it's looking a little bit sooner than we thought. Trump's on a tear, and he wasn't kidding, I suppose. Boy, was he not kidding. Now you know, it's coming back, and they're talking about it again. So I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. For those of you who don't know my channel or what have you, I found myself last night actually being scared of something that I saw on the news, on the internet. And the whole point is not, you know, you can't think from fear. You got to know. And even I forgot that it's probably, you know, it's a lie. It's, you know, or not. In this particular case, this is more prophecy. So I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm not afraid. There's absolutely nothing to fear, but it's going to be rough. We're going to have it not so good, you know, from at least now to 2028, maybe. You know, we'll make it through. You know, it's not going to, like, goods are going to be harder to get, obviously, because of all the tariffs and what have you, and that's already started. I'm not telling you to, you know, hoard up on food and get crazy, you know, because like I said, it's only 3 days. But stuff that you're used to having, you know, anything that's, you know, a specialty item, that we're spoiled, and we are very spoiled as Americans. Or as, you know, hey, you need something, you go to the store, you get it. It's not going to be like that anymore. They're not going to be able to do that because China's not selling to us. Canada won't be selling to us soon, you know. I got a couple of screws, hardware screws, and I looked on the back, and it said made in Thailand. And I'm like, well, good for you, Thailand. You know, probably hasn't had any business. Probably needs money more than anybody, right? So that might be a good thing. But as far as, you know, like getting a nice juicy watermelon in January, probably not. Whatever grows in the U.S., but I can think of potatoes, you know, Idaho. I mean, you know, stuff like that will be, you cheap and reasonable, whatever, and easy to access. But anything brought in, which is a lot, you know. I mean, we contracted so much of our work out, you know, like the car companies and things like that, like Ford. There's certain cars you will not be able to get. You know what I mean? Like anything that's made, like say, like we grow the potatoes, but it's canned in Canada. That's an import. Going to be a problem. So if you're into canned potatoes, then you might not be able to access them as easily, or it'll be through the roof as far as money. Just love your neighbor and count on your neighbor and count on love. You know, it's going to be harmony, and it's got to be harmonious, you know, way of living. And this is where what I've been preaching to my son and to everyone my whole life, and I don't know where it came from. I didn't hear it anywhere. It was just innate in me when I was born, I guess. But in this world, you get what you give, and that is it. And that's exactly the way it is. And never will it be so true as we're going to find out in the next, you know, few years. So I'm not worried about that. Because I'm definitely a giver to a fault. So hopefully that'll pay off for me now, you know. I want to get on more, you know. I don't want to film anymore because there's nothing that I don't have. And I did finally find that picture. If you guys have not been to my webpage or whatever and seen my last short, you have to see it. That is like, it's a real alien. Okay, this is from 7 years ago. Maybe even 8. Or my first encounter, but I can't remember if it was from my first encounter. Because that was shot on video, but the one I wouldn't even put on the computer. So I was surprised to see this picture. And I had passed over it a couple times before I saw it. But you'll see it. You'll know. You'll be like, oh my God, it's exactly, you know, like you thought. That's the same type of alien that was at my house for my encounter. The first one that I saw on video anyway. And also the same one that I seen rape Bigfoot, we'll call it, looking being. Now there's hundreds of planets hundreds with bipedal hairy things, you know. So I think that's, you know, that's why the stories are so different. You know, you get ones that are out to harm a family, you know, they're throwing rocks at you. The next one's like Harry and the Hendersons, you know what I mean? Because they're a completely different species. They just kind of look the same, you know? Where they're from, who knows? But they're definitely ready to come out, and I think I figured out why, because, you know, it's always like, why me? Why me? You know? I guess I was a seer, I guess we'll call it. When no one else could see, I could see it. I think I was meant to put as many videos as I have out there and get beat up, you know, for free. And nobody else could see it. But now that the veil is thinning so immensely, so many more people are seeing with their own eyes. And they can see in my videos, finally, what the hell I was taping, not just the trees either. I mean, that was brutal. But I stuck with it. It was important, but it didn't seem that important. I couldn't understand what the deal was. But now that the disclosure, you know, 2024, the big year of disclosure, Everything was disclosed. If you're watching or listening or give a shit, you know. If you want to continue walking around like a robot, so be it. You can't do anything wrong. The 3 days of darkness. Now the angels are the only ones who actually put time, have given any kind of timeline like whatsoever to this prophecy. And that was as soon as the U.S. broke up into individual states. Like apparently that's also prophecy. When's it gonna happen? It's looking real soon. Okay. Trump was put here, and he's doing his job fantastically, whether he knows it or not. Who could cause chaos more than Trump? Nobody. I just didn't expect him to do it so fast and so obvious prejudice to me. I mean, to me, anyway. So, what was the point I was getting at? A lot of you who are just... Now, you don't have to have a spiritual awakening or anything like that. Is all you have to do is just believe that you are it. You know, no one is better than you. Everyone is the same, and that's all I have to say. Everyone is the same. We all came from the earth, not to the earth. We came from the earth. Okay, so you know what the earth does and feels, we're gonna feel as well. And like I said, she's a conscious being as well. So if you're where I'm at, I wouldn't say I had a spiritual awakening yet. I think I did, but I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure because I don't know what that is. It's different for everyone. This is not an easy thing to do. There's nothing easy about spirituality, okay? But we are unlike any other being in this entire universe, and everyone would kill to be a human, okay? Apparently we have been visited a lot since, you know, the Anunnakis, you know, changed our DNA or added the 2 extra strands, put telomeres on caps on it so that, you know, we weren't too smart, but we had to be a little bit, we were going a little too slow for them, and you can't, you know, very well train a monkey to mine gold for you at the time, you know, so they had to make us a little smarter, you know. But since that period, however many years ago it was, there has been a lot of, we've had a lot of visitors, a lot. Therefore, you know, all of the extra, you know, things you see in the sky or UFOs or whatever have a vested interest because we're all the same. They're our cosmic brothers, and they're just waiting for us to join them. Now, I'm talking every alien, like from the lowest vibrational to the highest vibrational, you know. The reptilians being the lowest. Oh, did I say that out loud? Reptilians. Anywho, and then there's ones that are at our exact evolution in their planet system, you know. Not everyone's ahead of us by any stretch. Some of us are way behind us. So, but they've been waiting for this, so that's why they're all here. I don't know what they're waiting for or what's going to happen, but it's nothing bad. I mean, it's nothing good necessarily, but they don't want you to think that. They don't want you to know. You know, this would be the shadow government or the deep state or the, you know, Illuminati, call it whatever you want. They are I just can't believe how arrogant they are. That they think they can still win. They've already lost the war. They've lost. Pretty much. But they're not giving up because they still think that they can win because they're that arrogant. You know? You know what? I'm sorry. You guys are going to make me crash and you get to watch it. I mean, it is going to be scary if you don't know what's going on, but all the extra energy that's coming from the sun, the solar flares, people are losing it, including myself, and I'm perfectly aware of what's going on, and, you know, trying to wake up more and more every day. You know, it's all about consciousness, and, I mean, I'm not even close, but I've been doing nothing but trying to study, and I haven't, just the time is just, there just isn't any, and there really isn't. There is no such thing as time, but like some days it feels like 7 hours, the next day feels like 30 hours. It's like the longest day of your life, you know, depending on what you're doing. People in my position are going to feel it worse than, you know, if you didn't know anything at all. But I'm worried. No, I don't. I'm not worried, but I worry about, because it upsets me. I love you guys so much that you have no idea. You've been my whole life for the last 11, 12 years, so now I'm going to cry. Okay, stop it. I don't want anyone to be afraid of, you know, what you're going to see, because it's not real. And I just the thought of you guys being terrorized or, you know, scared upsets me. You heard a lot of talk about us going into the 5th dimension, and we've been talking about this forever, moving into the 5th. Well, that's what the 3 days of darkness is. Life will never be the same. That will be the turning point in this, on this planet. And years from now, everyone will say, it was when this happened that everything changed. But we were all born innocent. We're, you know, divine, loving, innocent, but most importantly, sovereign creatures. Very, very loving, and supposed to live in harmony. How this happened, it's just unbelievable. How you know, all the agendas that the shadow government had, like with the depopulation of people, thinking that'll be easier to control. You can't control someone who's awake, okay? That's the bottom line. And there's already so many souls that are here right now that chose to be here from other planets to help us tip the scale to our, you know, because we have to have 52%, and we're not quite there yet. We will be. I have faith in that, and as long as you keep questioning everything, you should be all right. Don't, you know, I mean, we got 6,000 years of deprogramming. I mean, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot. But as long as you're trying, and you know that you know, Earth is not the only planet, and that we do have cosmic brothers and sisters, lots of them, and that you are God, and you are it. Nothing, you know, your body is just an embodiment to holding your soul, which is who you are. You couldn't be loved any more or any less. You know, depending on what you look like or what you do. You can't do anything wrong in God's eyes, or the divine, or call it whatever you want. There's nothing you can do. It's better, obviously, if you do remember what your contract was, and remember, you know, or find your higher self, which I have not been able to do. Because we all have the same abilities. We're all psychic.